Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
You're listening to The Kevin Jackson Show on KJRadio.com. I'm your guest host, Liz Mattori. You can check me out on social media at Liz Mattori on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, so unfortunately we had another shooting. And of course, this was close to home in one of my counties here in Maryland, St. Mary's County. And before we get to the shooting at hand, I wanted to tell you about St. Mary's. St. Mary's is actually the oldest county in Maryland. It is where the Potomac and the Chesapeake River meet. No Democrat has won the county since Jimmy Carter in 1976. There is a sizable Amish community and a Mennonite community there. And I mention all that to say that it's a very small region in Maryland. It's a place where you go to get away from all the craziness. So unfortunately, that kind of magnifies how sad the situation is because, these kids are there and they're in high school and, their parents are living out there and, thinking that it's a good, safe, beautiful place to live, to get away from it all. And after first period, they get a call from the school saying that there was a school shooting, everybody's on lockdown. And, any sort of lesson that we can get from this particular one is that, the resources were actually in place to take care of the potential threat for some of these occurrences. The resource officer was armed. His name was Deputy First Class Blaine Gaskell, and he did shoot the shooter to stop him, to make sure they didn't shoot more people. And we don't know more about the individual. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to give him, sort of fame and notoriety. That's the thing that we need to be careful of in media, is that we need to make sure that we don't magnify their names, because some of them, especially the copycat kids, they love that attention. So I wanted to also more reason, talk about the people and commend the teachers there, commend the government there, commend the police and the resource officers. And actually one of my friends is a state legislator over there. And, this is something that, again, that community, they're God-fearing, law-abiding people. And this is something that they didn't expect to have happen to them, but we can actually say that they were prepared. It's another example of a bad guy with a gun getting stopped by a good guy with a gun. And that's sort of why we have the Second Amendment. We can protect our loved ones and our property, but specifically in this situation, our loved ones. The Republican legislators have specifically tried to introduce legislation for this particular purpose, so that we can protect our children, just like we protect our banks, just like we protect our diamonds. Our children are way more precious to our lives than all the money in the world and all the diamonds in Africa. So why don't we protect our children like we did here in St. Mary's? So, it's just like in the Texas church shooting, where the NRA trainer was able to stop the shooter from killing more people because, again, he was a law-abiding citizen who was well armed to take care of a threat. And oh wait, what happens if the government is the bad guy? I'm not saying that that is the case now, but our Second Amendment was specifically written in a time where, government and abuse of government power was very much well known. And we can argue now that it's not that different. There are things that have changed, but that anxiety around, abuse of power is very much well around. And one of my close friends said, who's a staunch 2A guy, said law-abiding citizens have firearms so that they never have to use them. So, I don't like the fact that this is happening. I know that, our children have this sort of anxiety that they live with more so now than ever before. And that's not right. And so what do we do as the adults? What do we do for the children in our lives, but make sure that they have a voice, that they have a space, that they have a safe place to articulate themselves and to tell us adults, express yourself. What are you dealing with? What has been going on? And make sure that we listen to them and we give them the attention that they need and that deserve. These things, and then now with social media, and it's just, we're so hypersensitive. And with this social media environment, we're also disconnected. As I said before, we used to have so many more connections, and we're down to 2 or 3 now. So if anything, this is another opportunity for us to pray and to be close, and yes, to pass legislation that will actually protect communities and also protect Second Amendment rights, constitutional rights. It is totally possible. And we have to encourage our legislators and, elect people who are willing to know the difference and not be taken advantage of and not use these opportunities as, political theater. It's really sick to see that the left is, almost fiending off of another school shooting. How sick is that? I mean, seriously, that is what we're watching, is that the left and the Democrat Party and the people who want to take away our rights to protect ourselves, they'll use this another event and this another example for why, we have to disarm. No. If anything, that boy should never have thought it was a good idea to bring his father's gun to school to shoot the girl he had a crush on. That's not normal. Nor should it be. So guys, let's just watch out for what these people do, because this is not a chance, not an opportunity for us to, take advantage of each other and to push our agendas. We just need to stay calm, watch our backs, and be mindful. And of course, we literally had this dude freaking bombing half of Texas. I mean, this is just such a weird time we're in now. I mean, there's something else besides, and unfortunately, it's not the weapons that people are using. It's the mentality, it's the mindset, it's the reason why. Like, why? There is no why. And I guess we're actually going to talk about, what environment they are creating for this to occur, for us to be, again, normalized. We on the right have to watch our backs and watch over our children.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanYourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.